Is Upstart stock a buy, sell, or a hold? I'm going to answer that question in this video looking at its revenue, its profit, its cash flow, and its valuation to determine if the stock is a buy right now. So let's jump right in with revenue. And you could notice here an up and down for Upstart revenue, peaking at close to 1 billion in trailing 12-month revenue and falling all the way down to 538 million in trailing 12-month revenue. The fall is a result of macroeconomic factors, including the Federal Reserve raising interest rates significantly, which made lenders hesitant to lend on Upstart's relatively unproven platform. Upstart uses artificial intelligence to make lending decisions, and this model doesn't have as much history as the legacy financial methods of making loan decisions. And so lenders, when there was a hint of a fear of an economic recession, really pulled back lending on Upstart's platform out of extreme caution, just in case we did go into a recession. They didn't want to have loans outstanding on Upstart's platform. And so that's led to a significant decrease in revenue. Now, interestingly, if interest rates were to come back down and the fears of a recession were to ease, it'll be interesting to see if Upstart's revenue rebounds and the company returns to growth. Because underlying the business model has a lot of benefits. It's convenient for consumers to go on Upstart and apply for a loan and have it all done digitally and have approvals done much faster than previous methods where you have to fill out all this paperwork, send in all this proof of income, and so on and so on. And so the lending model is ripe for disruption, but it remains to be seen if Upstart is the company to facilitate that disruption. Upstart, during its boom times, was generating profits on the bottom line, as much as 150 million in profits in a trailing 12-month period on the bottom line. So at that point, investors were really excited about Upstart stock. The company was growing revenue rapidly and it was generating profits on the bottom line. There was a lot to like. But since its revenue has collapsed, so has its profitability, all the way down to negative 268 million in trailing 12-month losses. Same story for cash flow from operations. Upstart was doing a great job generating cash flow from operations, but since the revenue has fallen, so has its cash flow from operations. There has been an uptick lately from negative 600 million up to negative 267 million. It remains to be seen if this is a trend of improvement or just a one-off improvement here in its cash flow from operations. Also, since lenders pulled back spending on the platform and making loans on the platform, Upstart was in a position where it needed more capital. It needed more money, both to fund loans on the platform, which it now has started doing more so than it would like to do, and just to sustain operations because it's losing so much money on the bottom line. And so long-term debt has increased for Upstart from non-existent around 2021 all the way up to 930 million in long-term debt for Upstart. And finally, I wanted to look at valuation. Upstart is trading at a forward price to sales of 3.411. It's still down significantly from the 24 price to sales it was trading at early in 2022. But remember, it's an entirely different business in terms of prospects when you compare it to that time. Earlier, I showed you how revenue was growing and profitability was growing. So the company was not only growing revenue rapidly, its profits were growing rapidly, and it was profitable on the bottom line. So it's understandable that the stock reached very high valuations at that point because there was a lot to be excited about. There was justification for those very high valuations. But now that it's losing a lot of money on the bottom line, revenue is declining, I would even say that at 3.411, I would say the stock is expensive given its prospects. And it's not certain that it's going to return to those peak levels it achieved earlier in the pandemic. So, for that reason, if I was to say if the stock is a buy, sell, or hold, I would say the stock is a hold for now. I want to see more proof that the company is going to return to that level of growth and improvement in profitability before I can suggest buying this excellent AI business.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.